Welcome CSC 112Q1 students. This is Professor Homa. I'm going to review the Red Sox stats exercise that we did in class on Wednesday 11/9. In case you weren't there, or if you were there and you need some review, I'll review what we did, some of the steps. So I'm going to go through the sheet that you can download, the Word document that you can download on Blackboard. There's also a PDF file that's basically the visual of what it looks like when it's finished. I didn't give you the finished file because then you wouldn't have to do it. It's finished. So I'm going to get started with number 1 on the exercise, and that's adjusting the column width of A. Column A, I'm just going to click on the column, and I'm going to make it auto fit so it fits in these names of the players on the left side here. So I'm going to go to Format and auto fit column width, and it should be as long as the longest name in that column. So that was easy. Next step is column B through R, set the width to 5. So all of these columns that are very long right now, we're going to shorten them. So I'm just going to highlight the columns, the letters up top, B through R, and I'll scroll a little bit, B through R. I'll select all those columns, and this time I'll do the same thing, Format, column width, and not auto fit, but column width, and I'm going to put in 5, which is actually 5 characters. So I'll hit OK, and now everything kind of fits in a smaller area now, and there should be enough characters for all the numbers that we have. Next step, now this caused a little confusion in class, but maybe if you see it when you're just reading the instructions, it's confusing. But we want to get rid of column P and we want to get rid of column R. So we want to delete those columns. We don't want on base percentage or I'm not even sure what that is, what OPS is, but we want to get rid of these columns. So I'm going to select column P first, and I'm going to right click right on the top of the column, and I'll go to delete, and it should just wipe out that column, and the others will slide over. There's still a Q left here. This one originally was R, but now it moved over to Q, so I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to right click and hit delete, and that wipes out that column. So now I'm only up to column P now. There's no Q and R anymore. But what I do want to do is swap these around, actually switch them around. So slugging comes first, and then BA, which is batting average, comes second. So you could do this different ways. The way I mentioned was actually going on column O and inserting a column. Now typically in Excel, when you insert a column or you insert a row, it'll typically do it before the other row or before the other column. So if I right click on this column where it says O, and I right click, and I'm just going to hit insert, it should just insert a column because it knows I'm on a column. It'll insert a column. It'll be a blank column, and then what I'll do is I'll highlight this information, or you can highlight the whole column. And I'm going to do a cut. I'll right click and do cut, that slugging percentage, and I'll go to O and I'll right click and I'll do paste. And it pastes in that area. Now we're going to have to reformat the way these percentages look here, because for batting averages and slugging percentages they have 3 numbers preceded by a dot when they show those averages. So we'll adjust those in the formatting. But right now, going down on the list, we did the number 2, which was insert a new column, and we cut slugging and we put it where the BA is. Now we're up to number 4 on the list, which was actually B1 through P15 from what I'm seeing here. Is center align all the contents. That means these things here. I'm going to go here and highlight all these. You don't have to just highlight at the bottom. You could highlight the columns. It says you don't just have to do the cells. You could do the columns and just center everything. So I'll just go B through P, and I'll just use my text align. That's all I have to do is just text align horizontally, and it just centers everything in those cells. So that was number 4, center align the contents of the cells. That's not merge and center. We're not merging any cells. Then we're moving on to 5, which is what I talked about, doing the formatting of the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here because I don't want to get caught in the middle. So I'm going to stop here. We'll format these numbers the way they should look in the next video. So I'm going to stop here.